Welcome to the Amee and D podcast. I'm your host, Amee Widders. This is my co-host and husband, D. Widders. We're talking about cheating still, continuing on with this cheating series. Your hat is fitting. Does the C stand for cheater? Is it red because you got caught red-handed?
Stands for crap. Did you wear a shirt that says sorry?
A cert? What's a cert?
Did you wear a shirt that says sorry because you want me to apologize?
No, it actually says sorry, I'm booked,
sorry.
But yeah, I guess
sorry.
that's fitting. I guess we both wore
How many
stuff
times do you
fitting.
think I've said sorry?
I have not counted because
How many times do you think
it's
I've
daily.
showed you?
It's still daily, even though this happened years and years ago.
How many times do you think I've showed you?
Less than the times you've said sorry.
That's rude. All right.
I don't know. They're probably
It's going to
equal.
be a good episode.
It's going to be a great episode. I have notes because there's so much to cover.
Awesome. I feel like last episode it looked like you kidnapped me and forced me to do it. Like blink twice.
Which I didn't. But you know what? Like I said in that episode, to talk about it every day to people is nothing to me. And then when we got sat here in front of this camera with these microphones to actually sit down together and talk about it for people, it was very scary.
Yeah, and I didn't want to.
I felt like naked.
I didn't want to. I wish you were naked.
Okay, not on the podcast. I'm sure they don't trust me after 3 children.
Yeah, right.
It's a mess.
You're
It's
perfect.
a mess everywhere.
Ain't no mess. I can't clean up, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. This episode, we're focusing on what to do if you find out your partner is cheating.
Run.
And then how to
Light 'em on fire.
confront your partner
Don't light
about
'em
the
on
cheating.
fire. Shoot him. Don't shoot him.
So we talked about the signs, right?
Yep.
How you can find out. So if you see those signs and then you do your digging for dirt and then you find the dirt, which you probably will.
Isn't that crazy? Like if you start looking, you're gonna find something that you don't like.
Yep. I found all kinds of stuff.
Which I think is like this will be part 2 of this episode, like what you can do to build back that trust, right?
No, that's the last episode.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you better stay tuned.
Yeah. Anyways, so the first thing you want to do if you find out your partner's
so
cheating.
yeah, you're the one that got cheated on. What do you do?
So
How'd you find out I was cheating on you?
Well, your routine changed, which we talked about that. You cheated with somebody we worked with, so it was very clear that I could see you guys interacting with each other on a regular basis, and you would deny it. I straight up.
We should look up what. Sorry to interrupt you. We should look up what percentage of people cheat with somebody at work.
It's got to be like in the 90s, like 80s, 90s.
Because you're there more than you're with your family.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Work wife, work husband.
Which is crazy if you work with your wife.
You still cheated.
But if you work with your wife, we weren't married. If you work with your wife, there's a 1 in 1,200% chance of divorce. So it's like almost impossible.
I feel like you got a better chance of divorcing someone if you work with them because there's like no escape. Y'all are always together. Bound to be fighting.
Nah, what do you mean?
Unless you're like us who did all the crap stuff in the beginning, went through all the BS in the beginning, and now everything else is like, it's a cakewalk compared to what we've been through. Yeah, I'm sticking around.
All right, how did you catch me cheating? I can't remember. It's been so long since we talked about it.
You moved out of our house and told me you needed space. Clear sign. I seen you flirting with the girl all the time at work. Clear sign. I confronted you about it. You denied it. So then I became an FBI agent and found said girl and her Instagram. And she would post wearing your hats, driving in your car. So it was very easy for me to know that you were full of crap. When I confronted you, you denied it. Now, this was before I was like fully living for the Lord. So now, if that were to happen again with you, you'd be done. We would be over. But
you don't have to say that anymore.
I have to for them.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Trust me.
If you are fine,
you don't have to say that anymore.
Can I give these people their
no,
advice?
You don't have to say that anymore.
I'm
it's
probably
like you're still afraid or something.
Oh, I am.
Of what?
I still have moments where I am afraid. It doesn't just
go
away.
Sorry, man.
If I really sit sometimes and really think about what happened, it breaks my heart all over again. But it's very few and far between that happens.
That's why this is hard talking about this.
Maybe.
Because this is going to be like on
Yeah, this is
video
like a
forever.
therapy session without the therapist. The camera's the therapist, and we're just like, we're talking about this to help other people, but you still digging up past hurts.
It's
It
crazy.
don't feel good.
When you're doing whatever you're doing, you're not thinking about any of this stuff. I'm not thinking about your dad and how I let him down, or how I let our son down, or how I broke your heart. And this was 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter how long ago it was. It still hurts the same, like every day.
Which is very different from me, because I didn't even tell my family that you were doing any of this stuff, because I was like, if there's any chance that we're going to work it out and I really love him, then I have to. Love covers a multitude of sins, right? So I'm like, I have to cover his sin so that they love him the same. Because if they know this and then I get back with him, they're going to think I'm stupid and they're never going to love him like how I want them to.
You really are the best person in the whole universe.
I just really love you. Like, I never
Say
did this
loved
with.
or love.
I really loved you and love you. Like,
love
I
you too.
unconditionally love you. So I didn't tell anybody. I thought about it beforehand, unlike you. I was thinking about kind of all those things.
All right.
Guys are just dumb. Anyway, so what I would do different this time, now that I'm living for the Lord, is I would first talk to God about it before anything. Pray, seek his guidance, figure out what is the, I guess, to give me some kind of peace before I hit you upside the head, because that's what happened. This might have prevented that. So I would pray first. I would find like a pastor or a counselor, or like somebody that I really trust, that I know isn't going to be biased about it, and
not like
and
your
tell me the
homegirl.
truth. Yeah, like, well, maybe as
I'm
long as
saying
that
that-
friend is gonna
Somebody
put
who
God in it, and
somebody
not,
who supported your relationship during your relationship.
yeah, and somebody that's not going to be like, oh yeah, get rid of him. I would rather have someone that's like, well, what does the Bible say? What does God say about this? What do you think the right thing to, what do you think God wants you to do about this? Not like, oh yeah, girl, he's trash. Dump him.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I think, you know what I've been thinking lately too? It is two totally different things to be like living in for the world and like working in a strip club and that type of lifestyle versus right now. To do it, like, that would be insane. Like, bro, that would be the craziest thing ever. To cheat right now, like, I don't know how somebody.
You would lose everything.
Yeah, like, cause back then, I was living day to day. Like, I'd spend every penny I made every day. Like, everything was like, I'm probably not gonna make it till tomorrow. And now it's like, man, I want to live till I'm like 100. I want to like have this family and enjoy everything about it. I want to do things just you and I and go on.
That would just be such a harder situation for multiple reasons. Like, we have more kids now. We've like, that's more time invested in our relationship. But also, I think it would be harder for you. Like, because obviously I would leave. And then I would feel guilty about leaving, because I know there would come a point where you're gonna realize what you did, and then this time it's like, nah, I can't do it, brother.
We should talk about that on the next episode. Like, I think everybody who cheats is like one thing, but you cheat and you have a wife or kids. Like, everybody is going to reach a certain point where they're like, man, I did this. This was not a good trade. Like, I traded my whole family and like a person that loved me and being around my kids every day for this.
Well, most people that think the grass is greener learns that it's not.
Yeah.
It's
No,
greener
not
where
most.
you water it.
Not most. Everybody. Eventually, everybody's going to get to that point where they're like, dang, I should have just
Like, dang, she really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
They
Or
really
he
weren't
or
that
whoever.
bad. Yeah.
For real. Sorry, I keep getting you away from your points.
It's okay. Therapy also is like a really good place for you to go by yourself first. I think it's important for you to like assess the whole situation. Like, okay, I found this out. Now, what am I going to do with all this? So obviously, like, you take it to God. You figure out if you even want to be with that person. Because some people will just straight up be like, okay, cool. Like, nah, I know my worth. I ain't sticking around for this. And then there's people like me where God's like, yeah, I'm going to need you to stick around and help this dude out.
which I think is probably the worst and like hardest path until you get to the point where you see why God did it. But that had to be harder than anybody else, like just leaving or walking away or whatever.
It was the hardest thing. Is the hardest, most painful thing I've ever dealt with in my life is you cheating on me. Because it happened for such a long period of time. Like, I'm a strong person, but cheating, like I said last time, it's like it kills your self-esteem. It kills any worth that you think you have. And you question. What's crazy is you question more about yourself than the other person. Instead of me being like, why is he doing this? What is the root problem? I'm over here like, am I too fat? Do I need to go work out more? Do I need to go do this? Should I cut my hair a different way? Should I do my makeup a different way? Should I like have a different style? Like, you analyze everything.
Anybody who watches this, like, please hear what she just said and know that it is not your fault or your problem or anything that's wrong with you. It is the person who's cheating on you's fault and problem, and it's on them. It's completely on them. It's completely on me. It's nothing on her. Like, that's insane to me. It's insane.
And
then I can, when I was cheating on you, I could manipulate you to think certain things, or it's like, it's insane to me.
You would make me think that I was crazy because I'm like, clearly you're cheating. Clearly you're doing this, this, and this. And you'd be like, no, I'm not. And then you're like, wait, am I going crazy? Like, am I really losing my mind over this situation?
Man, you can hit me up.
And then like sometimes you would tell the truth.
Hit me again if you want.
But most of the time you would lie. So like in certain situations where you were telling the truth, because I'm not going to do that. We're past that.
But when I say a joke, how come you just keep talking?
Because I have ADHD and I will forget what I am saying.
We should use these podcasts to work on that. You not forgetting what you're going to say.
I'm already trying not to interrupt, but that's why I interrupt. How you guys are like, how come you always never let me get a word in? It's because I will forget my point and what I wanted to say to you if I don't just diarrhea it out. And I know other people that are like that too.
You know what? I think I used to be like that, but now whenever someone's talking, I just listen to what they say, and then my response is out of my heart. So
yeah, because you are. See, I just did it again. You are supposed to listen to hear, not listen to respond, right?
Yeah.
My bad.
I love you. I'm sorry.
My bad, brother.
These next episodes, you don't ever have to say my bad or I'm sorry, or for the rest of your life. I'm sorry. But yeah, don't be thinking that it's your fault or you're crazy.
It is never there. There's no good reason to cheat because the respectable thing to do would be to end the relationship. Just straight up be like, I want to explore. Which would have hurt, but at least I could have respected you for telling the truth. And it would have caused way less hurt knowing like, okay, he wants to go do this. And he was upfront with me about it. And then I don't have to worry about where you are at night and what you're doing and where you're going and who you're seeing and when you're going to come home because you ain't going to be home if you're leaving to go seek other options.
This is why, to me, like, the principles that are in the Bible are so important because it's like you're only supposed to be with one person.
Yeah.
You aren't supposed to, like, be with multiple partners. You're not supposed to be having sex with tons of people.
Yeah, like we weren't even supposed to be living together. None of that when we started dating.
No, because all it does is cause problems.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to test drive the car before you buy it. Like, I know what kind of car I like. I don't need to drive it.
These days, I'm like I'm a classic car. Like, it's a little older.
You're like
it's still beautiful.
You're like a 59
People
Impala.
still want it, you know?
59 Impala. Convertible.
Drop top.
Black with black and chrome and gold.
You would do black?
I do black with chrome and gold accents.
Not baby blue?
I do a 6'4" baby blue like my first car I ever had. Dang, what if we would have met in high school?
I wish. That would have been so cool. I feel like I could have really made you such a better man so early on.
Yeah.
But didn't work out that way. So you can't. What if,
What's the next thing?
Okay, so I said that you have to decide whether or not you're even going to want to be with that person, because some people will just want to dip and not even work on the relationship. So you need to figure that out. I think if you're going to try to work on the relationship and the other person wants to work on it too, that you need to set clear boundaries. Like you need to know what certain things that person's going to have to do in order to make you feel comfortable and build that trust back up, which I think we can focus on in the third episode when we talk about, like, can you survive infidelity or cheating and all that stuff.
It's
So that's
crazy
the
that
main
we're
thing.
proof that you can survive that. Like, it's been...
God is the only answer
Yeah.
and the only reason why we are still together, because realistically, nah.
It's so hard. It's so
And
hard.
we're stronger than we were.
Say stronger.
Stronger. My lipstick got like stuck on my teeth. I was like,
Stronger.
strong. We're stronger than we were before.
Swong.
Okay, Corinthian. Stronger.
I'm big and swung.
We're stronger. I mean, the fact we can even laugh about it. I never thought I was going to be able to laugh about it. I never thought I was going to be able to trust you again. I never thought I was going to let you out the house and be comfortable again. But it's proof that over time, the wounds can heal. If you're
feel
both
like...
willing to work at it, and that person has repented and like will do what you need them to do in order to feel comfortable and to feel like you can start to trust them again.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, especially for the person who did the cheating. It's like you have you lose your rights. It's like you don't have the right to like say or do anything. Like you have to do what the other person
Yeah, and
needs.
I feel like sometimes you'd be like, just get over it. Like,
No.
it's like in the beginning, you're like,
Well,
you have to put the past in the past. Like, you can't keep bringing it up.
No, that's like in the beginning, like 10 years ago in the beginning. Like
Yeah, but you can't be like that.
But I'm saying
The person can't be like that.
Of course not. I'm saying in that beginning,
You don't get to tell that person
Yes,
when they
100%.
can heal from it, is what I'm
100%.
saying.
But in that beginning for
Ooh, I was about to.
no, in that beginning for us, that beginning I was still manipulative.
Yeah, and that's
like,
why you got hit upside your head.
Yeah. Okay, what do you do? Okay.
If she's crying, brother, all you had to do was say she's crying. You didn't have to
watch out for the wires and stuff. Yeah, in that beginning was still like...
Wait, is she crying? Are we going to get her?
She's fine. She's making crazy pterodactyl noises.
You gotta turn the monitor off though, because they're gonna hear it in here.
I think in that beginning it was more like
I love how we just like don't edit any of this out. Like Corinthian comes in his underwear. They come walking in here. We're just like, whatever. Playing on the baby monitor. Like,
I'm trying to get to the 100th episode.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
These first episodes is like, we gotta just do our best.
That's life, brother. Just do your best every day in life.
But yeah, I feel like at the beginning I was still manipulative, so I was still
100% because we stayed together, but you were cheating up until you left the club.
Yeah, and I think, which is another point we kind of made in the first episode.
Which makes me sick, because that was like a realization very recent.
Well, it wasn't like sex cheating.
Kinda.
No, what the heck?
Kinda.
No.
We don't need to get into details, but there was some stuff.
Okay.
Remember the Grimaldi's talk?
I don't remember. I try to put this stuff out of my brain.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But I'm saying, like, there's two ways that we're talking about here. There's the wrong way, which is you just need to get over it.
Yeah.
Which is like the person who cheated on me is like, we were just kids. You need to get over it. Like,
which, if you're trying to talk to them about it and they act like that, I would.
Yeah. You should have just dipped.
I should have.
But then there's the way now where it's like, no, like, whatever you say, I'm going to do it to prove to you, like.
Which you said and you would do, and then, like,
I would go
fall off. Like, you would go so back and forth, and then I would be like, all right, God, I'm done. And God's like, nah, get back up. We gonna do this again. We
Yeah.
slow.
Well, I think it's the environment. You have to take yourself out of the environment. Like you can't stop. Like I
Yeah,
would,
so it didn't fully stop till you left the club, which was what, 6 years ago?
and that's like just the people that you're around. It's everything. You have to take responsibility for it. But yeah, man, you can't stay in a strip club or whatever environment that you did the cheating and expect that things are just going to change and get better. You
Right.
have to completely remove yourself from that environment.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the first things we talked about?
I don't have like major points for this because there's so many notes. But basically, if you find out the person's cheating, pray to God about it first. Figure out if you want to stay, if you don't want to stay. If you do want to stay, obviously think of what clear boundaries you're going to need to set up with that person so that you can start to rebuild the trust and work on your relationship.
All right. So then what's the final
I
point?
also think that it's very important to focus on yourself in that time period as well. Do things that fill you up. So, like, I would go work out. I would go read. I would sing in the house. I would pray to God regularly, read my Bible, things like that. What else would I do? I'd take myself to the movies.
So
I'd
don't
take
go get
myself out
drunk
to
and
eat. Nah,
smoke
none of
weed
that.
and take
Do the
drugs?
things that make you feel good and find hobbies and things like try out new things and see what you like to keep yourself occupied, keep yourself busy, and just to just for your mental health, super important. Because if I would have
good.
just stayed in the house not doing nothing, I would have lost my mind for sure.
It's
The
good.
nights were the hardest.
Sorry. It's
All right.
not funny.
It's not, but the nights were long and lonely.
All right. Dang it. Every time we, every time,
And my lover won't answer.
every time I don't want to laugh, but like I laugh when I'm.
We can laugh about it now because we've been through it. Like that's what's so cool about God and a testimony is like while you're in it, it is horrible, it is heartbreaking, and then God heals you, and you can laugh about it now.
Yeah, but I try not to think about this stuff.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe because you're the one that did the dirt is why you can't laugh about it. But I'm like, God healed me. Like this is like it's amazing, and some of the stuff's kind of funny when you think about how dumb you were, and me too, for
Yeah,
staying.
But I don't think about cheating on you like in the past every day, you know?
I don't think about it daily either. Like and I'm gonna be real vulnerable here. I would think about it every day. I would check her Instagram every day. Like I would wake up thinking about you two together. Like it was bad. I had thought about it all the time because it was such a hurt. It was such a betrayal that I had never experienced before, and I couldn't understand. Like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, where did I go wrong in this relationship to make this dude do this to me?
And you did.
All right.
I just think about your dad, like how he could just beat me up, like whoop my.
So with my other boyfriend before you, when he did me dirty, my dad flew out here like the next day or something like that to like make sure I was okay and help me find a house. Like, yeah. Skip Ward don't play.
Skip Ward's the man.
Which is why I was like, oh, I really think that this is who I'm supposed to be with. So I better not tell them because they'll never forgive him. And I want them to love him. And they do.
Yeah, but I still have the fear of Skip in me. Like anytime.
Has he like watched these and like text you or said anything to you yet?
No, like little comments, but like we've talked about this like briefly during like our men's group or just different things. So like I have the fear of skipping me. Like it ain't even like, yeah, your dad is like you and your dad are family. Like I don't want to let them down ever again in my life, which I feel like I still do. But Yeah, not with this.
I think my dad knows your heart though, like I did. So
I think me and
he
your dad
gives
are
you
very
grace.
similar,
Yeah, I think so too.
except for your dad like never did anything wrong when it came to his family.
Nah,
You know?
he loves him some Barb Ward
Yeah,
to this day.
yeah. Man, I think when I think about cheating on you, it's like I freaking murdered you, and then like I have to, but you're not dead. Like I still have to deal with like that for the rest of my life. Like I can't believe that I did that.
Okay, but as the years have gone on, do you feel like, I don't want to say I've gotten better, but like, how do I explain this? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not bringing it up all the time. I'm not like as insecure as I was. I don't trip out when you leave the house now. Like, remember you'd want to go hang out with friends and stuff, and I'd be like, no, I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to go anywhere. Why are you dressing like that? Why are you putting cologne? It was like every little thing. I was like, he's going to cheat. He's going to cheat. He's going to cheat.
Yeah,
I don't do that anymore. I'm like, yeah, go. Get out of here.
I
Leave me
think
alone.
that will give people that watch or listen to this hope too. It's
I'm
like,
not checking your location every 5 minutes. Most of the time now, I'm like, where are you at? You're
what
like, you
episode
can
are we
see
gonna
where
talk
I'm
about?
at.
What episode are we gonna talk about that in? Like
The last episode.
yeah, so I think
Like, how do you survive it? What are the things that...
yeah, once you decide to stick around, and then you set very clear, like how the Bible talks about God's boundaries are pleasant. Like these are the boundaries, these are the things that need to be done. Like, can you do these on a consistent basis? And then that will lead to freedom into whatever it is that like your life is. But yeah, I'm such a like I don't even want friends like that. I don't want to hang out with people like I just want to be around my family and like a few
Yeah,
close
like now
people.
the friends you have are married, they got kids,
Yeah.
they live for God, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I know they're not going to be like, oh, yeah, let's go cheat on our wives or something, you know?
Yep.
They'd be like, what are you doing, bro? You're
They would all
stupid.
kill me.
Yeah.
There's so much levels of I think about it like now I live on like this like I built the foundation, which is Jesus, and then I slowly started building like these levels of things that like protect me from hitting the very bottom. And there's so much things I'd have to fall through to get back to the bottom that it's impossible for it to happen.
I think you know that you would lose everything now, too.
I don't even think about it like
But
that.
I
though.
don't even think you think about cheating. I don't even think you're that same person anymore. So it's like,
Nah, it's
yeah,
just like
it
with
makes
everything.
it easier to not worry about that. Like I got to watch God transform you into a completely new being. Like, it's one of the most beautiful things I've got to see. I get to see you at church. Why am I gonna cry? I get to see.
I don't want to cry too.
I get to see you now at church, worshiping, serving in the kids, like encouraging kids, praying over kids. You're just like a better man now, and you're living for God now. So it's like, I'm forever grateful, which I think is why it is usually easy for me to tell people like where we were to where we are now, because it forever will amaze me what God did for you, for our relationship, for our marriage. Like, I remember there were nights at Hannah and Jeff's where I would just be crying in the bed, like, God, please just give me one more chance to like show him what he's missing out on, and like I will help you, you know, lead him to live for you if you give me this like one opportunity. Like, I just want him to see what he's doing is wrong. I just want him to see that like he's not supposed to be with these other people, that you wanted us to be together. And so I remember all those nights. I remember all the things that you used to do and how bad it hurt. And now, like, we're completely healed and in such a better place. And so seeing that on a regular basis, it amazes me what God really did that. Like, God really transformed my husband into a completely different man. And all I wanted was God to get you to stop cheating on me. And God was like, sis, you've obeyed me. I'm giving you 1,000-fold. Like, you ain't even going to believe who your husband's going to be. And there's so much more that you're going to do aside from like our marriage. There's so much more that God is going to do in your life because now you are living for him, seeking him, doing the right things. Like you left that life behind.
And it all comes from your obedience. God didn't just snap his fingers and create this person that is sitting here. You listened to God and you obeyed, and that led to me becoming the person that I'm becoming. So it's like, it's on you, you know? Like, if you didn't obey, I might not be alive right now, or I might not.
Our lives would be totally different.
Totally different. And it's crazy how the Bible is so true. He makes all things work together for those who love him and are the called according to his purpose. And like the story about the woman where basically Jesus says she loves much because she's been forgiven for much. And I love you and our family so much because of how much I've been forgiven for. And I love people so much. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that you obey God.
Yeah, me too.
All right, man. Wrap this.
Well, no, because we haven't even covered the second part, which is,
Yeah, man, I gotta go.
how you confront a partner who's cheating. So I did it the wrong way, obviously. I was not in like
Wait, what's the right way?
Well, I wasn't in the right frame of mind when I confronted you. Maybe initially I was like, I just asked you and you didn't tell me, but then there were plenty of times where I had proof and I would just like be aggressive, hit you, throw stuff at you. The right way, I think, would be to like choose the right time and place, be in the right mindset. Like, remember, was it the beginning of this year where I found out like stuff that you thought I already knew that I didn't?
I don't know.
And I was like, oh, hold on. I think I just got gut punched. Give me a second. And then I was
that was like maybe April.
I was like, we need to go have lunch and we need to sit down. And I know this is going to be hard for you, but I need you to tell me everything.
And I think it's hard for whoever the person's going to be too, because they're going to have to control their emotions. They're going to have to control what they say.
But my point is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They're going to have to create an environment where the truth can be told, because I think it's really hard for people who mess up to be open when they're afraid, right? Well,
that goes back to like making a safe space for you, right? Like in that encouraging your man episode, like if I'm not aggressive with you and confrontational and I'm just like, hey, I just want to know the truth. And I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to get upset right now. I just want you to tell me everything so that it's out in the open. I feel like I wish I would have approached it the first time like that. But obviously I didn't know any better. But because I had already dealt with this situation in the past, it was like, okay, how do I talk to him about it differently this time so that we get a different result?
I think this time was different too, because it had been like a long time since the things.
It still hurt, man.
I'm saying it was different in the way you were able to like process it versus like going back and forth.
Well, I wasn't in my 20s anymore either. Early 30s. So, and I knew like, okay, this happened back then. Like,
I think the amount of time between when it happens doesn't really matter, right? Because it's still like, it's just like we talked about with grief. Like my sister died 3 years ago. My mom died in 2002. Like those things still hurt every day. So it's not about.
I don't think about it every day anymore. But yes, if I sat and really thought about it, it would break my heart all over again.
Yeah, so it's not about the amount of time that passes. It's about the amount of healing that happens.
But because the information that I had found out wasn't like a month ago, this was other things that had happened in that same time period as before. Well, I'm like, okay, I have to remind myself that he's not that person anymore. He's not that man anymore. So I have to treat him as if he's not that person anymore, and just get the rest of it out in the open so we don't keep ripping this Band-Aid off or opening up this scar, because every time it's going to take longer to heal.
Yeah. And it was crazy because I don't think about this stuff anymore. I try to delete it from my brain. So it's like I had to go digging.
Lucky you.
I know that's what's like sexual sin in like is the worst thing ever because it affects the person you're doing it against like way more than it affects the person who was doing it, and it's unfair.
Well, yeah, if that was me and I did all that, I would want to forget. I would want to forget that I did any of that stuff because I would be like, why did I do that, man?
For nothing, for money, for power, to try to boost your confidence.
For 1 minute of enjoyment, if that, because then you feel gross after. Okay. Dang. So you choose the right time and the place to confront your partner. Be
Which
like in the right
Isn't
mindset.
This crazy that it's like the person that's getting hurt has to be the responsible
You
one.
have to,
That's
because
so
that
crazy.
other person clearly is going off the rails, doing stuff that they know that they shouldn't do. So I feel like me being the example for you did help you.
100%.
It took a while, but like it did help you. So, yeah, like go in with a clear, like level head as much as you can. Maybe even like jot stuff down or like just write it all out so that you don't miss anything or forget anything, or maybe that makes it easier for you to just write it all out. And then
I think when you do go in, don't like if the person's still trying to lie, like
I would prepare yourself for that.
And I wouldn't even waste if you like in your gut and like especially if you're with like this with God, So if the person tries to like make you feel crazy, just
should you
get
punch
up.
him upside the head?
No, you should just get up and leave. Like, all right, bro. Like, I know you're full of crap. I know you're lying. Like, I love you, but
shouldn't just cold cock him and be like, stop lying.
You were crazy, bro.
I was sick of you lying to me.
I know, but you were willing to die.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I had nothing to lose, bro.
Die for the
I
truth.
was out here, no family, no nothing.
Yeah, that was before you had Christian.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm like, you gonna do this to me and I ain't got nobody out here? You gonna do this to me in front of everybody we work with? Yes, I will die on this hill if you ain't gonna tell me the truth. I don't care. Because you're acting like I'm a moron, and I do not take kindly to you acting like I'm an idiot.
That's the last thing you are.
Like, do not insult my intelligence, brother. I'm asking you the questions because I already know the answers.
Which is crazy.
So just tell the truth.
Yeah. All right, so set up a time.
Be prepared for that person to either be cool or be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and get all mad.
If somebody says, I don't know what you're talking about, they're lying.
Anybody that gets super defensive and super loud when you're trying to talk to them about something, they're usually lying.
The loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room.
So yeah, be prepared for that. Ask for the truth and listen. I would just like let that person talk and then take in everything that they're saying before you respond.
Yeah.
And then I think after that, you both have to decide, like, okay, are we going to stay together? Are we going to work this out? Or are we parting ways? Does one person want to work on it and the other doesn't? And who is that person? Is that the cheater that wants to work it out and the other one? Like, you got to figure that aspect of it out.
It's going to take both people to want to work on it.
Yes.
And be on the same page.
And then if you are deciding that you do both want to work it out, you definitely need to discuss like how you guys are going to go about that. What boundaries are going to be put in place? Are you guys going to go to counseling? Are you guys going to go to church? You going to try to talk to your pastors and get counseling that way, or whatever?
Yeah, don't just start
Gotta
having
discuss
sex
possible solutions.
And do that instead. You actually fix it before you do anything.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
That's the next episode, right?
Yeah, so the last episode is going to be...
Thank God. Only one more of these.
Is going to be, can people survive infidelity?
Yes, we survived.
And how to go...
Are you going to break up with me after the third episode?
And how to go about it. We already talked about this. It would be stupid of me.
It's okay if you do.
It would be stupid of me to do that now. At this stage of the game. It would be stupid.
I love you.
I love you too.
For life.
I hope this helped people. Sometimes I feel
I
like,
think it's gonna help us, so it'll help one person.
what are you doing?
Come on, man.
What?
For life.
What is this?
For life.
I'm not your homie, bro.
Are we for life or not?
Yeah, I took vows and I took them very seriously, unlike you.
Thank you. I take them very seriously now.
Now,
I'll kick somebody
I
in the
took them
teeth.
serious from the jump.
That's why you're better than
To
me.
this day.
And I think, the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord.
That's definitely true for
I think
you.
all the favor I have is because you obeyed God. So
I
thank
believe
you.
that, yeah. You're welcome.
Love you. Proud of you.
Proud of you too.
See you in the next episode.
Sounds great.
Peace.